folks, that long off season is over. The NBA is back. How happy are you to hear those words?
Oh, you have no idea. I've been waiting a long time for tonight, a game that counts. How great is this?
All right, now let's check out the starters for the Miami Heat. We've got Mitchell. Bam Adebayo is out there with Andrew Wiggins. Then there's Tyler Hero, and it's Powell in at the 3 slot. Now here's Mitchell. Back to Hero. For 3, Powell. Counted from distance.
Well, that's what Powell does. Uses his accuracy from range to create space for this offense.
Outside Hart. Bridges, a screen on Wiggins. Hart against Wiggins. Towns up top. This one for 3. Oh, can't get it. Misses his first attempt. About a minute played here so far in the first. To the paint. And finished off by Adebayo.
Oh, my. So much force in Bam's game right there.
It's Hart on the wing. Brunson against Mitchell. Towns on a screen. Hart from long range. Doesn't go. And he's 0 for 1 from the floor. And it's Mitchell with the ball for Miami. And in the first, a little over a minute and a half in. Let's go with a 3. The Knicks with the rebound. And since the turn of the century, die-hard Knicks fans had dealt with some lean years, Grant, until recently.
No doubt, B.A., and they're happy to see meaningful games. The arrival of Jalen Brunson just changed things, and they've gone all in to surround him with talent.
Shot clock at 6. Here's Brunson. And again, the Knicks missing. For Miami, they've gone 2 of 3 from the floor. Hero finds Mitchell. Bridges against Hero. Driving to the basket. Tries it from 16. That one's wide left.
You can hear him sputtering all the way over here. He knows he should have knocked that one down.
Outside Brunson. And looks like an illegal pick was set. That gets the ref's attention. And we've got a moment to look at the rebounding trend over the last few months for Josh Hart.
And I'm sure he's not pleased with these stats. His rebounding has taken a bit of a tumble over the last couple of months. He's really got to get his energy back up on the glass and start fighting for boards again.
Now here's Hero. In his last outing, he had 11 points. Buries it from 3.
Well, he's a volume three-point shooter in this league. Hero can really do damage from that.
And so Mike Brown decides to call a timeout. I think right now he might be looking at some adjustments. Knicks trail by 8. Bridges outside. Powell against Anunoby. Out to the wing. And here's Brunson from the arc. And he's in the books. Now 1 for 2.
Pretty much the second Brunson gets the ball, he's into motion, and that's how it's done.
Over to the left wing. Powell for 3. Towns with a rebound. For New York, they've gone 1 of 4 to begin this one. They grab their own miss. Anunoby can't get it to go.
When you challenge a player on a layup, that's what you want. Getting a stop without a foul. The defense wins that battle.
Mitchell, the pass to Powell. Four on the clock. Adebayo, a screen on Anunoby. For 3, Powell gets the 3 ball to go. Powell's got 6.
Wow. Some strong perimeter shooting here in the first quarter.
Brunson looks it over. And there's a 3-second violation. And a moment to check out the 2K leaderboard. Here were the best rebounders last season. Second, Karl Anthony Towns.
Simply put, he was terrific down low last year, owning the glass.
Ware's checked in for Miami. Pass to Powell. Drops in the layup for 2. Give him 8.
And this defense needs to turn the screws and ramp up the intensity. They're looking a little loose out there right now.
Outside Anunoby. To the inside. Here's Towns. Rebound Miami. Wiggins outside. Hero against Brunson. Outside Adebayo. Where the screen. Here's Hero. And Miami again with the bucket.
Their offense looking like a well-oiled machine.
Hart with a screen on Hero. Outside Hart. Towns on a screen. Shot to stop the run. Hart can't hit. And so Hero will bring it up for the Heat. Powell passes to Hero. Back to Powell. Inside. It's stolen by Hart. And now the Knicks on the break. Here's Bridges. Oh my goodness! Fired at home!
Oh, indeed! And how about the hops Bridges has? Showing off some there with the slam.
Thanks for that great view, courtesy of the AT&T Connected Cam. And here's a timeout from Eric Spoelstra now. He's going to take a moment to give him a breather and talk things over. So New York ends up going with a whole new group. So Miami going with an almost entire new group here. Jaime Jaquez is checked in for Adebayo. Fontecchio comes in for Andrew Wiggins. Larson's checked in for Norm Powell. And Yakachonis subbed in for Tyler Hero. Now here's Fontecchio. Now here's Ware. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Pass to Yakachonis. From outside, off the mark.
And he almost made them regret defending him so loosely.
And still to this day, Jordan Clarkson can give you instant offense, Coach.
Well, Brian, he's excellent off the bounce, slashing into the lane. He's added the three-point shot. He can fill it up in a hurry, normally off the bench.
So it's Miami now, after New York picked up the 3 with their last shot. Here's Larson. 10 points in his last outing. Fontecchio with a screen. Outside Jaquez. Miami moving it around. Fires the 3. Larson, no good. Knicks trail by 7. Alvarado outside. Clarkson outside. 3-pointer off the mark. Miami has gone 3 of 7 from beyond the arc in the first. Pass to Yakachonis. 3-pointer. And it's New York with a rebound. Alvarado right side. Now here's Clarkson. 29 seconds left now in the first quarter. Robinson. And a big finish by Robinson.
He's just an aggressive finisher there inside.
Hey, when you got bounce like that, you feel like you can take on anybody. Here's Yakachonis. Still no points. Miami needs to get off a shot here. No one covering.
Yeah, showing off that ability to stretch the floor. Seems like everyone is a threat at the arc these days.
And so it's the Miami Heat finishing the quarter with an 8-point lead. They've had incredible success defensively. If you're just joining us, we played through one quarter in this one. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for Miami.
Well, the thing about hitting early threes, it spaces the floor and makes things a lot easier offensively.
Yeah, on top of that, they've been resourceful defensively, generating scoring opportunities by forcing turnovers.
Setting the floor for Miami. Jaime Jaquez out there with Khalil Ware. Then there's Yakichonis. Then it's Norman Powell. And it's Larson in at the 3, the small forward. And let's send it over to Allie LaForce.
Hey, Brian. Karl Anthony Towns is now familiar with the ethos of this Knicks team. He said they're gritty, they find a way to win, they never quit, bringing that New York mentality every single night. It's something that you recognize when you get to live in that kind of a culture. Guys, back to you.
They are relentless. All right, Allie, appreciate the report. So it's Miami now. It's Powell on the wing. He's covered by Clarkson. 5 on the clock.
Nice work from Clarkson on the defensive end, showing some energy trying to alter the shot.
Stan, while they're cobbling together an offense, the Heat will always compete defensively.
Well, B.A., only 2 seasons in the last 3 decades have the Heat been below average in defensive rating, making that commitment's a key pillar of the Heat culture.
Down low, here's Yakichonis, and he dunks it. What a pass to set him up.
What? Wait. Hey, dunks are always for the big boys.
Emphatic move by the point guard.
Well, in this league, you can see powerful plays from anyone and anywhere. Your position no longer dictates your scoring.
You got to bring more fire than that to stop Clarkson. He's a pro at fending off tight defense.
Where the screen. Powell against Clarkson. It's Powell on the wing. To the middle. Robinson with a steal. Clarkson against Powell. Clarkson passes to Robinson. Powell against Clarkson. That shot, no good. Oh, great D that time from Powell. Here's Jaquez. Played it in with a nice touch off the window. And the Heat lead by 8.
He's a producer. It's part of their plan to get him as many touches as possible.
And so Mike Brown decides to call a timeout. Coach probably just checking to make sure everybody's on the same page here. So for the Knicks, OG Anunoby's checked in for Shamet. Mikal Bridges comes in for Clarkson. And it's Jalen Brunson in for Alvarado. Tyler Hero's checked in for Miami. Bridges outside. Anunoby for 3. New York again can't hit. Heat leading by 8. Steps back. Here's Jaquez. Over Towns. Jaquez no good. And Brunson's got the ball here for the New York Knicks. And a big finish by Robinson.
Excellent movement on the play. The pass on time and on point.
16. Brunson against Hero. Pass to Ware. The 3 is up. Knocks it down from distance. Ware's got 6 points.
A pretty talented distributor. Tyler Hero isn't one to force his own look.
Brunson passes to Anunoby. Anunoby on the wing. Lets it go. Brunson misses.
Well, that's a miss you can live with. I expect they'll go to it again, especially if the defense continues to concede it.
Jaquez, the pass to Hero. Over Brunson. And he tries it off the glass, but it's no good. Knicks trail by 9. And for Tyler Hero, people immediately think of the shooting, but there's much more to his game, Coach.
Yeah, B.A., look, he's much improved as a playmaker. As a rookie, he only averaged about 2 assists, but last year I think he was over 5, and he gives a consistent effort at the defensive end of the floor.
From behind the arc. Oh, Brunson with the triple.
You know, some threes look better than others, and Brunson's lefty stroke from 3 is a beautiful thing.
25-19. And here's Hero. He's got 5. tried to answer back, but that three is off the mark. Bridges against Powell. Pass to Brunson. It's stolen by Jaquez. Fast break Miami. Here's Larson, and there's a whistle. He'll head to the line to shoot two. It's going to be on OG Anunoby. Miami shooting their first shots from the stripe in this game. And he knocks down the first one. All right, guys, we're lucky to have Shams Charania joining us now. Our 2K insider calling in with a story. What do you got, Shams?
Well, fans becoming very familiar with the term second apron over the last few seasons. Front offices admit the devil is in the details. While it's not exactly a hard cap, teams are showing little willingness to endure the penalties that come with persisting above that second apron threshold.
That's for certain. Shams, thank you for the report.
Ooh, they've been on fire from deep this quarter. Their percentage has been rising and rising.
Mitchell against Brunson. Pass to Bridges. Outside Brunson. Clock at 6. Mitchell grabs a miss. Heat leading by 11. Takes a three. And it's New York with a rebound. Brunson with it. He has 6. Pass to Robinson. Bridges against Hero. Bridges passes to Hart. Bridges outside. Fires away from way outside. New York no good that time either. The Heat have gotten 4 of their first 9 shots to go here in the second. Takes the 3. Can't get it. He's now 1 of 4 from the floor. Miami has gotten 6 of 13 shots to go from outside the arc to the inside. Mitchell, the pass to Adebayo. Adebayo, a screen on Anunoby. Back to Adebayo. Got it! Bam!
Well, Adebayo makes his living on the interior. He's so dangerous close to the bucket.
They're searching for a way to score.
Yeah, buckets have been very tough to come by.
Robinson passes to Bridges. Shoots over Hero. And there's Bridges. That's good. On the assist from Robinson.
Well-placed pass in the hands of a guy ready to attack.
Outside Mitchell. Adebayo against Robinson. Fades. Adebayo, that's good. Adebayo's got 6.
And this is what you want to do when you've got a big lead. You must stay aggressive.
Yeah, they're being absolutely relentless. Building this lead in every way possible.
Here's Brunson outside. Offensive rebound. And Anunoby gets it to go.
Anunoby's nose for the offensive board gives him that edge. I mean, he wants that extra bucket.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Here's Wiggins. It's hauled in by Robinson. Knicks trail by 11. Hero against Bridges. Good on the shot, and that shaves the lead to single digits. He has 6. And so it's the Miami Heat with a 9-point cushion at the end of the quarter. Getting lots of great looks. Thanks very much, Allie. We'll be back soon to start the second half of basketball.
Well, the 3 ball is falling. They've got good momentum. They're setting hard screens, and the shooters are capitalizing.
And now an opportunity to check. Thanks as always for watching.
And we played through the first half. Plenty of basketball left in this one. Hey, we've seen Norman Powell really having a great game.
Through the first 2 quarters, he's been on fire. Explosive offensive performance.
Yeah, and in terms of slowing him down, I think they're going to have to change things up. Give him some different looks.
And so it's Mitchell who brings up the ball for Miami. 13 points was their biggest lead of the game. We've got OG Anunoby. Jalen Brunson is out there with Mikal Bridges. And it's Josh Hart. And it's Towns in at the 5. That's the group starting the second half for Mike Brown. Shot clock at 5. Stolen by Anunoby. Brunson against Mitchell. Towns outside. Stolen by Mitchell. And pushing it up. Here's Miami. Uses the glass on the layup. And the Heat lead by 11.
And they've made themselves easy pickings. Sloppy ball control creates an easily converted turnover.
And the Heat's Eric Spoelstra, now the longest tenured head coach in the NBA stand.
His 18th season in this role. Been with the Heat over 30 years. Having gotten his start in Miami as a video coordinator. And this run is the 3rd longest all time after Jerry Sloan and Greg Popovich.
Powell passes to Wiggins. 5 to shoot. Fires the 3. Karl-Anthony Towns comes up with a rebound. Towns has got rebound number 5 here tonight. Here's Hart. It's hauled in by the Heat.
Not really what we expected. You know he wants that one back.
Pass to Mitchell. Back to Powell. Hero looking over the floor. Now Wiggins. Anunoby covering. Adebayo, a screen on Anunoby. And Andrew Wiggins is a great sidekick stand. He can also be a leading man at times.
Well, you know, B.A., a wing with his size and knack for scoring will always be welcome. And with the way he's improved his defense, you have a solid 2-way player.
Yeah, the first overall pick in 2014, Andrew Wiggins has carved out a nice career as a scoring wing.
New York working the ball around now. Outside Brunson. Lets it go from deep. The shot that time not on target. Miami leading by 11. Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. Powell finds Hero. Adebayo sets a screen. Hero, no good. The Knicks have gone just 1 of 3 in the second half. Pass to Towns. Over Adebayo. Misses off the right iron.
Not a great start to the second half. Just 1 for 4. Got to find ways to generate better looks here.
Wiggins outside. Mitchell with the ball. And it's Brunson picking him up. Inside. Stolen by Anunoby. Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Thanks. Teammate Josh Hart may call Jalen Brunson the king of New York, but Brunson says, I would never consider myself a face of the franchise, but I'm a leader of this team. That's what I want to do, and I am grateful for the opportunity. I don't take this for granted. Back to you guys.
Staying humble. Allie, thanks very much for the report. Third quarter of basketball here. A little under 3.5 minutes gone by. Brunson against Mitchell. Here's Hart. New York, no good that time either.
It's just so hard to score in this league, especially when you're out of rhythm. You got to feel for him tonight.
Wiggins passes to Powell. Here's Hero. The 3. He drops it from range. Hero's got 8.
Yeah, no time needed for Hero. He's always ready to fire.
They need something good to happen here.
Yeah, they've gone way too long without a score.
Bridges outside to get back on track. Fires in the triple. He's got 9.
Exchanging buckets from downtown. That's been a staple of tonight's game.
And sometimes you get in a shootout like this, but you just hope that you can get a stop first.
Kicks it out, Towns. And a miss there with a chance to cut the lead to single digits. Miami leading by 11. Outside Mitchell. To the paint. Down low. Here's Wiggins. Towns with a rebound. Towns has got 7 rebounds in the game. Up top, Anunoby. Hounded by Adebayo. Brunson passes to Towns. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Towns has got his first basket.
Willing passers, unselfish play. You have to appreciate this kind of offense.
Powell outside. Mitchell finds Powell. Now here's Adebayo. Covered by Towns. Back to Adebayo. Bam! Hammers it down.
That's just a great pass. Excellent vision to see the open spot in the defense and lead him to the score.
Outside Anunoby. Pass to Hart. Mitchell against Brunson. Towns down low. Hounded by Adebayo. Brunson misses. And so it's Mitchell who brings up the ball for the Heat. They've led by as many as 14. Hero with the bucket.
You got to do more than that to stop Hero. He's superb at staying under control.
And so Mike Brown decides to call a timeout. And we might see some changes. Coach potentially looking to adjust. And Miami going with a whole new group out there. Sohan outside. Now Clarkson. He has 7. Inside. It's Shamet on the wing. Shoots from 12. Rebound Miami. Ware's got 6 rebounds in the game. Now here's Jaquez. Not a lot of room. Pass to Fontecchio. Back to Jaquez. Here's Yakachonis. From deep. Connects from downtown. Yakachonis has got 5.
It's those kind of passes that bring up the entire team's confidence.
Screen by Robinson. Clarkson for 3. Sends it home from three-point land. He's got 10.
And their perimeter shooting numbers have been up since the start of the second half.
To the middle. Larson with the bucket.
Yeah, showing a little versatility with their offensive attack. In the first half, it was about the 3-ball. In the second half, they've emphasized interior scoring.
Clarkson outside. The rebound by Ware. Ware's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Here's Yakachonis. He's got 5. And so it's the Miami Heat up 15 points as this quarter concludes, building this lead up in large part because of how well they're shooting it. We'll be right back after this word. And meanwhile, Eric Spoelstra rallying the troops.
All right, put together.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same for the first 3 quarters. On the floor for Miami, starting the fourth quarter, we've got Kel'el Ware, Norman Powell out there with Yakachonis. Then it's Jaime Jaquez, and it's Larson in at small forward. Towns brushes him off.
Excellent work by Towns, refusing to let the contact throw him off balance.
Powell against Clarkson. Has to wear. Lets a three fly. Karl Anthony Towns comes up with a rebound. Knicks trail by 13. Now here's Clarkson. And a nice finish on the layup.
Well, you can tell Clarkson is letting his shots come to him. He's not forcing things out there.
And here's Jaquez. And we played through about a minute here in the fourth. Where the screen. Here's Powell. And they pick up 2. And the Heat lead by 13. Here's Alvarado. Pass to Towns. Now here's Clarkson. He shoots it. That one's good. And it's Towns with the assist. Clarkson's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Well, he's playing great tonight, but not quite well enough to carry the entire team. They need to find some other contributors.
Towns passes to Robinson. Here's Shamet. And here's Alvarado. Pass to Clarkson. Over Powell. Jordan Clarkson again.
Well, when Clarkson gets going, he can be an elite scoring guard.
And Eric Spoelstra decides to call timeout. He wants to make sure everyone is aligned, given the situation right now. Jalen Brunson, he's checked in for Shamet. And Miami with a change here too. Hero's checked in. And let's swing it over to the sideline and hear from Allie.
Well, over the break, I listened in on Eric Spoelstra's huddle. He said, keep it going, guys. Ride this wave of momentum. We're playing great right now, but we can't let up. Guys, back to you.
And Allie, thanks. From outside the arc. And it's New York with a rebound. Robinson's got 4 rebounds now. Pass to Towns. New York working the ball around now. Robinson, a screen on Hero. Brunson passes to Robinson. Count the bucket, coming off a perfectly placed pass.
And give them credit on the job they've done to narrow the gap with this big run.
And here's Ware. Ware, the screen. Hero for 3. And it's New York with a rebound.
Well, he hasn't had a great night shooting the ball, but they're in the lead, and that's the only thing that matters.
Clarkson. Back to Alvarado. Pass to Brunson. Tries the spin move. Powell pulls it in. Powell's got his 5th rebound in this one. And here we go, the Heat fast break. Again, the Heat misses. Now here's Clarkson. He's closely guarded. Here's Brunson. Here's Towns. And the officials call goaltending, so they'll award the basket.
Well, at least the D was going for it, but he got to the ball just a moment late.
So for the Knicks, Hart's checked in for Robinson. OG Anunoby comes in for Clarkson. And it's Bridges in for Alvarado. Miami also changing it up. Bam Adebayo's checked in for Jaquez. And it's Wiggins in for Larson. Wiggins outside. Adebayo, a screen on Anunoby. Wiggins passes to Adebayo. Misses, and the dry spell continues. And so it's Hart with it. He brings it up for the Knicks. A great 4th quarter, just giving up 2 points. Towns, a screen on Hero. Towns outside. The 3 ball. Yes, and a nice assist from Brunson. Now just a 2-point Miami lead.
Yeah, he's been able to turn it around after a rough first half. He's now looking much better offensively.
Back to Hero. 4-3. Give him that one. Now shooting 5 for 11 from the floor.
His 3rd triple of the game. A little more success from out there in the second half.
Brunson passes to Hart. Back to Brunson. From downtown. And again, New York with the triple.
Their ball movement on this run has been tremendous. It's led to a lot of good, clean, open looks.
Outside Adebayo. Pass to Powell. Wiggins outside. Adebayo feeling it out a bit. Hero! Misses the three!
Well, you can tell he thinks he should have had that one. Even harder on him when he's got a good look like that and it doesn't go down.
Outside Brunson. Oh, it's no good! That would have tied it. And so Hero will bring it up for the Miami Heat. At one point, they led by 16. And stolen by Brunson. 2-on-1 as they jump out on the break. Anunoby. Yes, sir! We saw it coming. He left no room for error.
Oh, important points from Anunoby, and his team needed that.
Mitchell's checked in for Ware. Here's Hero. Now Adebayo. Adebayo with the muscle inside.
Wow! Adebayo showing some leadership there in a big moment.
Mitchell against Brunson. Outside Bridges. Now Brunson. Brunson gets it done.
I mean, towards the end of the game, you want Brunson out there, and he can do some special things for you.
Hero against Bridges. 11-footer. Yes, sir. It's good.
Well, they're right to trust Hero in these moments. He's a very reliable scoring option.
And the call is going to be, yes, an illegal screen.
And this is the absolute wrong time to stop communicating. They have to get in sync.
Miami's gone just 1 of 6 from downtown in this final quarter. Bridges against Hero. Here's Adebayo. Using the glass to lay it in.
Yeah, with the game on the line. Adebayo wants the ball and he delivers.
Brunson up top. Check by Mitchell. Ooh, the shot misses. For Miami, they've gone 5 of 11 so far in the fourth. And here we go, the Knicks in transition. Brunson fires. Here's Hart. Outside Bridges. Towns a screen on Hero. Bridges. Oh, it misses. And an intentional foul right there. And it's Miami's ball. 4-point game. Here's Hero. Doubled by Towns. Now Powell. Outside Mitchell. And they go to the intentional foul.
First personal foul. Second team foul. Davion Mitchell at the line.
He hits the first one, and that puts him up 5. And the second free throw, no good. Tough break there. Time called here. The Knicks decide to talk it over. We've got 22 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter. Let's hear from our analyst. Give us your take on the strategy being discussed right now.
Searching for a fast bucket, then a way to stretch things out.
Yeah, and then they have to foul quickly and hope for some misses at the line.
Connects!
A huge make by Jalen Brunson, shining in the biggest of moments.
And they foul intentionally. That's what they have to do at this point.
And a smart choice right there. I mean, you can't allow them to just drain the clock.
And no good, as the first free throw misses. We'll see if he can hit the second. So he can't get either to fall.
Not the result he or his teammates were hoping for. He could have put this one away.
And it's Mike Brown calling timeout here. The pressure is on, and he's got a plan to share with his guys. Given the situation here, what sort of strategy needs to be top of mind?
Tricky situation here. They need some kind of bucket to stay alive.
Yeah, the clock is their enemy, and they know it. We'll see if they go for the tie or try and get a quick one.
And they need to stop the clock, so there's the foul. First free throw is good, and that'll put him up 2. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 3-point game.
Question is, now can they protect the 3-point lead he's given them? It's all about getting a 3 right here.
Yeah, and when your opponent knows what you need, it makes it that much harder to find an open.
And that's an intentional foul. Good on the first, and that gives him a 4-point cushion. And he hits both free throws here, and it's a 5-point game.
Well, that shuts the door on any hope of a comeback. Nicely done.
And so Miami takes the win. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for them. They had to dig deep to come out on top.
Yeah, you know.